Hi everyone, Isaac here. I'm just going to show you today a little bit about my system here where I'm able to code in Ethereum Solidity and create smart contracts and then compile them here on my home base server. Um, and um, and yeah, some of the things that I have, I'll just be brief. Um, and I want to say too, please bear with me. I will go to my screen in a moment, but I'm not a cameraman, so I'm just going to say that right off the bat. But yeah, I'll try to make this quick. I'll show you a smart contract that I've written, and some other things. I'm doing this on an Arch Linux system, which is an amazing system for programming and coding, especially when it comes to Ethereum. I've got all of the Solidity downloaded, all the dependencies. I'm operating on ganache-cli, which is a test network, and what that gives me is a local test network where I'm able. That's my cat in the background. It gets really noisy. Um, It's going to be doing this all day, I'm sure. So I have ganache-cli, and then I have truffle, of course, Node.js, and Solidity, and yeah. So let me get right to it. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna show you some of the coding I've done, and I'm basically just showing you my setup here in Arch Linux, and some of the things that I've done, and everything's already on my screen. I shouldn't have to do too much. At the end, I'll probably run Geth, and yeah. So bear with me. I'm going to switch to my screen now. It could get a little choppy. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let it focus here, and you can see at the top of my screen I have it says localhost 8545, so that's in the ganache-cli test network for Ethereum. It's where you're able to test Ethereum contracts on your local network. I'm not even connected to the internet right now. This is just on my local server, so it's a very safe and secure way to code and test your smart contracts. Below that, I have the truffle where you can see that it says compile. It was already compiled, and it wrote it, and then you just have my cursor there, and then below that you just have my server information, that's basically where the ganache-cli and the Ethereum truffle is listening for my smart contract that I've written. And then at the bottom you have my smart contract. I'm gonna try and okay, that's a little better. Let me just see. Alright, if I can get it to where it can zoom in. Okay, let me let it focus there for a second. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I think this would be better, right? Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Oh yeah. And I don't have an editor, so you have to see all this. Okay. Let it focus, and there we go. Okay, that's about as good as we're gonna get. I mean, you're not gonna want to see all this anyway. This has the wallet addresses To deploy smart contracts on the Ethereum network, they have to be funded. You have to set the gas limits and all that. A lot of variables here. Setting up the parameters. Setting up the more variables. Well, I went too far. I might just go to the top, and then I'll come down. This is an auction smart contract I'm writing, so it's quite long. You can see at the top I'm in pragma solidity, and I first have to set the parameters, and all that, the events, and it's basically simple coding. Solidity is very similar to Python and even JavaScript. I would say a little bit closer to Python. But here in the beginning, I'm just setting the parameters for the auction contract and all of that. As I get further down, I have the conditions, the effects, and then I start getting into the variables, specifically the requirements. Another one I forgot to mention is Web3. You're gonna have to have that. You have to set your variables with Web3 as well, and there's a lot of dependencies with Web3, and you have to get all those installed. You can see I have ganache-cli as my provider, and that's gonna show. And then I have my IPC provider. That's actually my home IPC address. A lot of these are just setting the Ethereum wallets, transaction. I'll go back up. This is from one address to another. So these you just have to set just on interface. And yeah. And so I just wanted to show that. I can also go ahead and show you Geth. Oops, I'm gonna escape out of that. Let's see. Let's go over to here, and I can also run Geth, and I'll need to do this one. The transactions. So this is gonna generate transactions and connect with my IPC. It's synchronizing with the block. And it's doing all that. I'm not going to go too much into that. When you're compiling, you want to initialize it first. So I'm going to type, let me. Oh God. Okay, you can see my command line there. Ethereum is running up there. To compile, you're going to type truffle init. Now I've already compiled it. I showed you that before I ran Geth, so it may throw an error saying that it's already been done. So got that, and then you can type truffle compile. Okay. Yeah, so it's not going to show anything there. Well, you can also type truffle migrate. But it would have showed something there. But I already compiled it, so it's already done. Okay, yeah, so it's just migrating to the server. Alright. Anyway, I hope you liked my short video. It's just showing how I'm able to test Ethereum smart contracts here on my remote network here in my home. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm available on Skype and email. Just call first or email first to set a time if you're going to Skype me. Thank you so much.